Okay, the emphasis is always softness. It's always going to come down to softness. The softest thing overcomes the hardest thing. So you have your parasympathetic and your sympathetic nervous systems. If you're stuck in sympathetic, you're going to be stuck in fight or flight. That's because the adrenals are destroyed from caffeine and other stimulants that keep you in the sympathetic nervous system. That's why a lot of people grind their teeth at night, because they're stuck in the sympathetic nervous system. The parasites that they fed into, the parasites are any person, place, or thing, of course, but the thoughts. The more you identify with any thought, the more you sustain it. So dehydration is the first disease. So people are behind on their breathing. That creates a sense of lack within the body, just being behind on the breathing. So then you're already in a state of not thinking properly, or you're thinking in general. Because when your breathing is not proper, you're not thinking properly. So you're not manifesting properly. Because thinking is the opposite of awareness. I'm not saying people shouldn't think. I'm just saying that they should know that thoughts themselves are the opposite of awareness. So whenever you're in this constant back and forth in yourself, it's always the breathing. It's always the breath is misaligned. You haven't allowed the breath to catch you. So that's really what it boils down to. Which nervous system are you stuck in, and why are you stuck in this one? A lot of people can get caught up getting stuck in the parasympathetic. Cannabis can do that to you, because your melatonin levels are getting messed with, and now you're in this state of being more passive and more parasympathetic, and now you're a passenger in your own life. Whereas, the sympathetic nervous system does play its role. You got acid and alkaline, you balance them, then you have infinity. You got male and female, you balance them, then you have infinity. Dark and light, you balance them, you have infinity. So it's the same thing with softness, with the breath. If you get more and more gentle in your life and your thoughts and in your breathing, and then you have that space between inhale and exhale, it grows and grows and grows and grows and grows as you have more. As you're cleansed more and you have more space to expand from the diaphragm, and then inspand when you exhale. So as that happens, then the more soft as you can do that, that's the more powerful breaths. Because then you're losing total sight of inhale and exhale, external and internal. That's totally gone, especially with the eyes closed. All that is, you start to lose the sense of that. That's all, that illusion starts to fade, and then you slip between yin and yang, or left and right, or the paradigm of male and female that we are in this dimension. So that's practicing infinity. That's practicing the softness, and so many points that can be made here off this point in general, because that's, once you get above yin and yang, then you can see past good and evil, and then you can embody the good the more that you know it. So it has everything to do with the softness. The more soft you are with yourself. But if you have acidic thoughts from taking in acidic foods and breathing in shallow breaths, you stay at an acidic level, you stay in a sympathetic level. You never balance parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous systems to where your circadian rhythm is fluid. You get back to the circadian rhythm just so you can see the rhythm of life itself, and then you can branch off into immortality, or however you want to look at that. That's your reset button, the circadian rhythm. You're going back to that, to the rhythms of the world. You get back in alignment with the Tao, with life itself, and then you can see that you're the creator of all. Your will is what's creating everything. So everything is an extension of your will. So there's no separation. Separation is the greatest illusion. So the softness is key, because you're dealing with you. You don't want to you're dealing with you. You're always dealing with you. Everything is pressure. Everything in life is pressure, and proper pressure is the key to life. So when you're being too firm, then people are going to be more firm with you. Life is going to be more firm with you. If you're being too flexible, then the same thing. You will spill. So you have to balance the flexible and the firm, and that's how you can practice infinity. But everything comes down to the breathing. That's the first. That's paramount. That's the base of the food pyramid. The breath. Everything follows that. It's just that simple. everything else follows. So if you breathe more, you will eat less. It's just how it goes. It's not like you have to have a plan for your day for what you're supposed to eat, but you will see the rhythms in the body when the body demands breath. When you're looking, checking for the time, when you can see that like you've been breathing shallow, if you really tap into it. You have to clear all this midsection out, get all the parasites out, cleanse all of that. Get rid of all of that. Stop spilling the seed if you're a male. Stop being with males that spill seed if you're a female. And regroup as an individual, regroup your organs, then everything will get in proper alignment, and then you'll have a proper massage every time you exhale and inhale. It'll be a perfect pressure, just like every day has a will to it. The day, you could say, starts and ends, so you have a will through your day, right? That's the Tao, right? And it's the same thing for your life. So you can either go against that and fight against it and get crushed and be tired all day and for the rest of your life, or you can get with this, align with this will, this thing that you cannot fathom, but you innately honor it inside of yourself if you allow yourself to. So if you get with that, then you're propelled with ease in all your movements. Not to say that you're sitting still. You're still going to be moving around and working, but you'll be doing the correct work, so it will come from your core, correct. So it'll be complete work. That's where they say, when nothing is done, nothing is left undone. The fuel transforms into flame. You can't separate the dancer from the dance. That's why the Tao Te Ching or the Tao Te Ching, however you want to look at it, that's why it's such a lovely tool, especially if you're going through your breathing practices, just to put the audio book on, do the series of breaths with the Tao Te Ching, and just listen over and over and feel all. That's what I did. I filled all those all those periods where you would go into thinking. I replaced it all with Lao Tzu. I replaced it all with the Tao Te Ching, and from there, you can govern yourself. Once it's installed, it's there. It would take immense trauma to create amnesia, but it would still be there inside of a person. But and that's why a lot of people, they die, they're forgetting their past life, and then they're born, and then they're vaccinated, circumcised, or whatever, and that's immense trauma and amnesia that makes you forget, but it's still buried in the energy that is you, because energy is immortal, and that's what the body is. And energy is consciousness, because the body is conscious, of course, and the body's energy. So whenever you have a thought going through you or anything going through you, you can realize, like, these are just all facets of me. You stop seeing the separation when you're more gentle in your thinking. So the lack of breathing, the dehydration that causes the acid thoughts, which causes the acid movements, which causes the acid life, which the body's mainly moisture. If moisture becomes too acidic, it houses parasites. It's the same thing with the body. Life is so simple. It's really simple. You just have to allow it to happen. Get out the way of life. Allow it to happen. Be gentle. That's it. The more gentle you are with the breathing until it's silent, until you can't tell the difference between in and out. There's no difference between yin and yang, and that's infinity. And you stay in that place, and the longer you can stay in that place, then the stronger the breath is. The less your heart beats, the stronger the beat is, though. And the longer you live, and the stronger you live. Even if you were going to die in a week, this would be your best week of your life if you did these breathing practices 3 times a day for a week. After that, you'll want to do it more and more. You'll want to do it more than 3 times if you manage to do it 3 times a day. If you can do half hour, 6 a.m., noon, and before bed, hour and a half, for 7 days of your life, you got the rest of your entire life to do whatever you want with it. But for these 7 days, if you can do that for an hour and a half and really have that discipline, because those that master others have power, but those that master themselves, or those that master others have strength. Those that master themselves have true power. So if you can really manage to do that, to really it's doing, not doing, just allowing. If you can do that, then you'll see how much you really want the breath, how much everything is craving it, and how life has been trying to push through you this whole time to push that flower up, and it's really that simple, man. 2020 Tantra. Been beating this drum. I'm gonna be beating this drum until 2021. 2020 Tantra. It's in PDF and paperback, and I have the Stuff Pig audiobook comes with it. If you get the paperback and the Stuff Pig PDF, it's 33 PDFs. You can get all of them for 100. And if you get all 33, then you get the iManual audiobook and the Stuff Pig audiobook. So, and then consultations, contact me at royalt512@yahoo.com. And yeah, Taylor_Budd, BUDD 5, Taylor_Budd 5 on IG. That's 2 D's for a double dose of this pimping.